the Man United fans want to know what to expect from Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say congratulations. It is not an appointment I expected at all. I think it's a brave appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I expected him to go to some place like Newcastle United or somewhere where he has a project, when United is already the biggest brand in world football. So they're taking quite a gamble, because he's known for attacking football. And in some ways, he's the father of German coaches like Jurgen Klopp, Thomas Tuchel, in the sense that he's a tactician. He likes attacking football, but also he's known as the professor in Germany, because he doesn't have, he didn't win any Champions League titles or anything as a player. So he was one of the first players in Germany. I'm not sure about the English league, but he was really one of the first players not to have that background. And everyone was like, why does he deserve to be up there? And he was just sensational everywhere he was. He's a fan of really beautiful football. He likes possession, he likes attack, and he really likes giving youth a chance. He's helped build up Roberto Firmino at Hoffenheim, Luis Gustavo. Then later on at Leipzig, half of the Leipzig players that he formed are now in the Premier League. It's like Naby Keita, Timo Werner, Ibrahima Konate at Liverpool now, and of course Firmino at Liverpool. He's basically shaped like half of the Liverpool team. And so he's quite the catch. He's complicated as a personality. Okay. I think there'll be the odd scandal or two. He often clashes with authority. He has the kind of opinion that he's smarter than everyone else. And the problem is that he kind of is smarter than everyone else. So no one really likes him in terms of the management, but players swear by him. Players will go into battle for him. He's a disciplinarian. He disciplined a lot of players at Leipzig and Hoffenheim, but there was never any leak, never any superstars complaining about him. He's a wonderful coach. Something that's interesting that I think not a lot of people know, and this will be the last thing I say. When he was at Schalke, before he went to Hoffenheim and Leipzig and helped build up those clubs, he was at Schalke in the kind of golden generation when they had Manuel Neuer, Benedikt Hövedes, Julian Draxler, Raúl Huntelaar, Jefferson Farfan. It was a really attacking team. And actually, they almost made it to the Champions League final if it hadn't been for Man United winning in the semifinals. It was 2010 or 2011, that season. And he was so exhausted, because Schalke is a very emotional club. Sometimes I compare it to Newcastle United in the sense that the fans will die for the club, but the expectations are always higher than the actual potential. And he was so exhausted that he actually quit. He quit before the end of the season with a burnout syndrome. And this was 10 years ago. This was a time, soccer is still kind of unforgiving about mental health, but this was worse at the time. And people thought he could never recover from that. Not in terms of like his physical health, but that no club would ever give him a chance again. And look where we are now. So I think it's a really exciting appointment, and that I'll leave it there.
All right, Marie. You can see we've got Nathan rubbing his hands. Hakeem's looks like he's about to burst.
I can tell you, Jadon Sancho is singing right now. He's going to get everything out of Jadon Sancho. And again, with the kick in the butt, he might discipline Jadon Sancho a little bit, because Jadon Sancho had the odd misdemeanor at Dortmund. But I think Jadon Sancho is someone who needs that, and he's going to whisper in his ear and give him trust, and not no more of that wingback nonsense. He's really going to use the players like they're supposed to be used.
So you said about the youth that Man United fans should be excited about the potential of some youth being played in even if in this short spell that he's going to be in.
Yeah, I think so. And I think maybe not immediately, because right now you have to get United out of the crisis, and he'll use some of the older players, but there'll be some players from the academy that even United diehards haven't even heard of yet, and he'll pluck them out and play them. Perhaps, over I think the first few, he's got a few hard matches to begin with. So he needs to steady the ship, and then he'll give a chance to some of those young guys. But even the stars are all still really young. Just look at the wing, look at the attack. United has such an exciting young team, but they need confidence, and I think they also need a lot of discipline. And I think for that, Rangnick is the right guy right now.
Yeah, and obviously it says there's a consultancy job after this. So I know previously in other jobs he's wanting to go upstairs as well and sort of do a bit of both. But do you see this as the perfect kind of role for him? He gets his 6 months and then he can see what he's got to work with, and then can consult Man United afterwards once the new manager's in?
Totally. That's actually, he did that at Leipzig, because he really wanted Julian Nagelsmann, and Julian Nagelsmann wasn't available yet. This was when Nagelsmann was like 28 years old. I mean, just think about that.
Wow.
And Nagelsmann was basically kicking ass at Hoffenheim, and Leipzig signed Rangnick, and he really wanted to install Nagelsmann, but he wasn't available yet. So he coached Leipzig for a year. I think this was in 2016 or 17. And so he's a great coach, but I think because of that burnout, it's hard. It's hard being on the sidelines, having the media all over you after every game. He's much more of like a visionary. So he likes being close to the players and sitting on the bench, but he's much happier restructuring the academy, like signing players from obscure leagues no one's ever heard of. So he's much more a sporting director and technical director in terms of his personality, I think. He's a gifted coach, but I think it's difficult because, especially at United, that will be a true test for him, because Hoffenheim and Leipzig don't really have that many fans. There's not that much attention, and United has like 1 billion or something fans. So I really hope he wins that first game, whether it be versus Chelsea or Arsenal, but he needs to win that first game to like calm the people a bit, and then he'll do really good work, I think.
All right, Marie, that was brilliant. Marie. I've got people.
I want some more. I don't even want to talk right now.
Don't worry, Marie was only here for 10 minutes. I asked her for 10 minutes. I've given her 10 minutes. Okay, she's done us a favor. Marie, appreciate your time. Have a good evening. We'd love to get you on again to speak a bit more in depth about Rangnick. So thank you very much.
And I'm just like, I feel like Jadon Sancho, the Bundesliga misses him. No one tweet me that Jadon Sancho is bad. Jadon Sancho is a legend. He just needs a good coach, and he will, it takes time to adjust to a new club. And watch out for Jadon Sancho, because I think he'll really benefit from Rangnick.
Oh, the famous words from Marie. She knows. I'm excited. I don't even know why I'm excited here as well. Look what you've done, Marie.
That's what we want to hear.
If you want to catch Marie, we're going to put her Twitter handles in here during the show. So go and follow Marie, and she's very open to answering questions as well, especially about German football.
I'm just seeing a message here from King Dennis, the lawman. I'll just answer that. He's
yes, go for it.
It's because he's a really difficult guy to work with, and because he's kind of a smart ass. So he almost got the job at Milan. I think this was 2 years ago. Then he almost got the job at Schalke in the spring. But football is still such a hierarchical world, such a hierarchical industry where people don't really want to budge, people on top. And he's a massive threat because he goes to a club and he just cleans the shop. So that's why I'm saying it's actually so brave, and I really respect United for appointing him, because he's gonna like step on a bunch of toes. He's gonna step on Woodward's toes, the Glazers' toes. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's a very brave appointment.
Brilliant. That's exactly what these fans want to hear. This is what these two want to hear. 100%. Marie, once again, thank you for giving up your time. We'll speak to you soon.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving,
Thanks,
if anyone's celebrating.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Enjoy yourself.